Hey there YouTube, Hunter's Bracket Speed here. I am taking a sort of impromptu tour of the CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, where I've done some work, and I just looking in the prop area right now, and I thought I'd show off some of this stuff for Halloween people who would obviously find this kind of thing interesting. This is actually where I got my first plaster head for doing masks, is from leftover prop stuff from the CBC. And they were in a massive storage area on the 10th floor of their downtown broadcasting headquarters. And it's just filled with flats and foam props, really large doodads like this. Really awesome stuff. Brick panel after brick panel after brick panel. That there has got to be 12 feet high at least. And I've seen dozens of these around the warehouse. Be great for an industrial themed haunt, these pieces here. I can't get into this area, but there's row upon row upon row of props and doodads. This is a small sort of smattering of what they used to have. There's still tons. So here's my haul from Sculpture Supply Canada, my favorite store in the world. I took some pictures inside there. They made me stop. I don't know why, but I got a few of them. But hell, I'm a damn good customer of theirs. So picked up some vinyl gloves. I love to have lots of these around, and my wife steals half of them from me anyway. So picked up some Moldcraft latex rubber. My friend Colin Lachlan wants me to make him a bunch of ears for some props he's got planned, and I have my ear mold, which I've discussed before, so I promised him I'd make him a bunch, so I picked up some latex. And of course, epoxy sculpt, my favorite material. Use it all the time, and I have a new epoxy mask in the works, so figured I'd pick some of that up. And then this is what I wanted to show you. It's called Form-It clay, and this is a really super soft clay that for those of you in the sculpting community, this is very similar to clean clay, and they sell it here for like, I don't know, $3 a brick or something at Sculpture Supply Canada. And I can never get enough of this stuff. I use it all the time. I'm using it for the undersculpt of this new mask that I was just mentioning, among other things. I don't use water-based clay like a lot of people do, even for mold dams, things like that. I just use this stuff. It's probably a little bit more expensive going this way, but I like to take my time, and this is an oil-based clay, and it never dries out. Like water-based, if I was to do a mold dam with water-based clay, I'd have to be ready to mold that same day. And I usually, just with family and work, I usually get to work on projects for like, you know, hour-long bursts, and then I have to come back to it later. So I prefer oil-based clay in almost every scenario. So this stuff is great. You can get it from Sculpture Supply Canada. They deliver, and I'm sure they have something similar in the United States. But definitely check out Sculpture Supply Canada. Again, it is my favorite store in the whole world, and I wish they had let me take more pictures in there, because they have everything. If you're into Halloween or sculpture specifically, it's like a wonderland in there. Just thought I'd clarify something and also annoy a friend at the same time. My good buddy Jay Wall from Hunter's Hangout has often said that he can't stand watching vlogs when people are driving, so I thought I'd do just that, just for Jay Wall. I think it was Jay Wall. Anyway, someone said that. Just wanted to make a quick clarification regarding Form-It clay. You wouldn't want to use Form-It, or at least I wouldn't want to use Form-It to do like a mask, like the details in the mask. It's too soft a clay to hold detail very well. So, for example, I use Monster Maker's clay, oil-based, sulfur-free clay, to do the face of a mask, because once it sort of cools down and you're sort of done working with it, it gets nice and hard. And then to say if you were to lean on it with your hand while you're working on another part, you're not going to deform your sculpt that easily. Form it, you will. It's very soft. You can put it in an oven or might, you know, to warm it up a little bit before working on it to make it even softer, but you really don't need to. You can just tear off a chunk with your bare hands. I'm using it for the undersculpt of my mask, like I've done in the past with the other epoxy masks, according to Bruce Mitchell's tutorial, and I use it, like I said, for dam walls and stuff like that. But I'm not going to actually use it on a face or an actual sculpt. It's more of a utility clay for other things. At least that's how I use it.
Saying I surrender all my love to you.
Subscribe.